All right, so I know I'm late with Ginny and Georgia. I'm finally on season 2, episode 1. And I'm finishing up episode 2, but I'm on episode 1. I finished episode 1 in its entirety, right? So their Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. Jenny's still sad about her, the situation, everything she found out about her mom, because that's the real reason why she's upset. She's not upset because her mom is marrying Paul. Like, she liked Paul. She's upset of what Jesse told her about her mom. Now it's just like, okay, number one, you've been keeping secrets from me, and now this is like a huge secret, like the biggest secret of them all. And like, and we gotta keep in mind, like, she's in high school, so she's playing a high schooler, right? So she's young, like, she's like just, and she's already going through stuff in her relationship at school and like all this other stuff that she got going on. So she got a lot going on, right? And then she's just hit with this, and it's just too much for her. That's why she does what she does, right? So this Thanksgiving, Zion, which is her dad's parents, family, come over. They're cool, and you can tell that the parents are like, they're happy that she's actually like, spending time with him, and like, because they don't like Georgia that much. Like, you can tell they're not really fond of her because of whatever reason, like, the past. And yeah, they're like, they're happy that their granddaughter is over there for Thanksgiving. At the same time, we got Georgia with Paul's family, and they're just like, they're rich, they got money and stuff. And then what was crazy to me, that Paul's mom was like, oh, like, where are your kids? She's like, oh, they're with their dad. And then the mom was like, which dad? And you could tell that was like, what? Like, and the brother, Paul's brother, I believe, he was like telling jokes and stuff, trying to make, light of the situation, because, it was a little awkward right there. So Georgia gets home from Paul's family's house, right? And she's upset because the mom made it like a little awkward. It hit a nerve, right? So she calls Zion to vent-ish, but, she doesn't say too much. Basically, they got on the topic of Friday. Zion was like, I'm going to bring the kids by. I know they miss you. He's like, girl, you need to stop being petty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and Georgia is a young mom, and you can tell, like, she still has that, like, she's young. She's like, what, 30, right? That's young, right? And her daughter's 15. That's not too far from age. So they're both, like, just bumping heads like sisters, right? Whatever. So the next day, Ginny finally takes back Marcus's bike that she took last season. She's like, I'm sorry, I had a lot going on. I'm with my dad. He's like, you can tell he just really genuinely cares about her, and it's just so cute. Then his mom comes out, and she's like, let's go talk to your mom. You took his bike. I didn't even know that. Whatever. They go next door. Georgia's outside with Austin and Zion, and like, they telling the mom, I think her name was Ellen, Marcus's mom, was like, oh, your daughter took my son's bike and blah, blah, blah. And then Georgia's like, oh, like, I didn't even know that you were like riding bikes and whatever. Anyways, so then we get to the part where Georgia's like, what did she say? Oh, they go in a house. Georgia and Ginny go in a house by themselves because, Georgia wants to talk to her daughter. Basically, she's like, what's going on? Like, why are you, acting like, what's going on? Like, and I think deep down Georgia knows that Ginny burnt up that plant. You know what plant I'm talking about. And she doesn't want to, like, say anything. I don't know why Ginny doesn't want to tell her, but I mean, I guess, like, she probably just like, you already put me through enough. I'm over it. So Zion comes in, and initially he's about to tell Ginny what's going on, but tell Georgia what's going on, but Ginny gives him that look like, don't say nothing. Like, we had this conversation, don't you say nothing. Don't open your mouth to this lady. So he doesn't. He's like, oh, what he wanted to tell her was that Ginny wants to move in with him. But Georgia ain't having that. Georgia wants her kids with her. And he's about to tell her, about the situation and why he wants her with her, wants her with him, but he doesn't, because ultimately he does have his daughter's back, which is really, that's cute, like, it's cute. So Zion, even though he has his daughter back, Georgia's like, nah, she ain't coming, right? So he was about to, he's about to say the real reason, and before he could, Jenny's like, never mind, I'll just move in with you. I want to live with you or whatever. It's just I like Georgia, but she is like very selfish when it comes to like her kids. Like, it's like she has their best interest, but not like, but she has their best interest, but I don't know. It's like she doesn't want to put them in like therapy, right? She doesn't want like them to live with the dad or whatever. It's just like, girl, like, come on, like, whatever. So Jenny gets to school, and the Mang is still no more. There's no more Mang, but she's becoming closer to the other girl. I need to. Oh man, the other beautiful black girl on campus. I need to know why I just always forget her name, and it's like really making me mad. And they're like bonding. Like the girl is like, she wants to try for the same musical as Max, like for that lead role, right? And the girl is like really talented. Like sis can really like, she could sing. She's a good actress. Like it's giving. And like, she does end up. And initially she didn't think she was gonna get the part because they mentioned something about porcelain skin, and she's a black girl. She don't have like whatever porcelain skin. She's a brown beautiful girl, right? And she ends up getting it, and she ends up getting it over Max or whatever. Max is playing the role that Max ends up playing the role that the other girl thought she was gonna be, like just like the sidekick, the friend. So I was like, oh, okay. So I do mix up like some of the episodes because like I watched this like one big movie because it's so good, but I'm literally on episode 1 and halfway through episode 2 of season 2. So they're kind of like mumble jumble together. So I hope y'all following along with me. But yeah, so there. Okay, I don't remember her name. I need to write these people's names down. If I'm gonna be talking to y'all about it, I gotta write their names down. But the woman that doesn't like Georgia, the one who was running for mayor. So she, her husband is sick, right? He's like in hospice, like he doesn't have long to live. And Georgia wants to get in this country club, or it's the neighborhood club, and she needs a sponsor. So she goes to the woman's house with like a basket of brownies and some alcohol, because she's trying to get her a little like, to loosen up so she can be her sponsor. But the woman it looks almost as if she's gonna like, give into it, but she doesn't. She ends up going to that meeting and telling them people like, look, this woman, she got a lot going on. She's a liar. She's a thief. She doesn't belong in this group. Like, no. And they end up not giving her not letting her be a member of the group. And George is like, what the fuck? So that was pretty much the gist of episodes 1 and 2 of season 2. I have like 5 minutes left of episode 2. So I'll be watching that along with episodes 3 and 4. And then I'll be reporting back to y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Anything you want to talk about, spam my comments. Let's talk about it, because this show is amazing.